Hi there, and as you can see by the first picture, this is going to be about divide and rule and religions and all my videos I try and sometimes I put a picture up before I actually do the video. I do it separate to the picture at the start, and so it's all a story. That's how I try to orchestrate my videos. And make it interesting. Sometimes change them, sometimes sit and do a talk face to face, and use my creative side. We've all got a creative, artistic side, I believe. And this is going to be about religion, really, and I flow through the subjects as I do. When I get going, when I start relaxing, I start channeling and I start tapping into different things, and different information comes out. But yeah, religion is there's so many people. Like I've got people who follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and some of them are religious. And when I say things like religion, because all religion is Satan, it's the dark forces. It's evil. It's an evil force which is masquerading as separate religions. And people can't see it's the bloody same thing. But most people can't see that. And maybe it's because I'm not into religion. I'm not into religion. My family have always been into Bibles, but my mum's side are also psychics and mediums and stuff. And growing up, I remember there used to be religious people coming to my mum's psychic events when I was a kid growing up, and they would frighten me. They would be saying my mum was a witch or something, or evil. But to me, they were evil. And, so I saw this growing up, and religion, what it does is it divides people and gets them to go against each other, the divide and rule. That's what it does. It's a game to get people. It's a bit like countries as well. Countries does the same thing. My country's better than your country. My skin color is better than your skin color. And this is why racism exists. Because it's been drilled into people that they're better all the time. That they shouldn't exist if they're black or something. Or whatever skin color it is, or whatever religion, It's all about dividing each other. So when you divide people, you then have chaos. Like I said in my last video I was doing today, that this demonic force, the Illuminati, I've been doing research on them, not ever since my spiritual awakening, because I didn't know anything about them. But once I started to get into, after the awakening, after years of the awakening, people said I sounded like David Icke, and I watched other people, and then I got into information about Illuminati and the reptilians. And these forces are demonic, and demonic forces feed off of fear and anxiety and stress. You see, what is perceived as dark forces is the Antichrist. But the Antichrist is the real Christ. And the Christ is the Antichrist. It's all twisted, you see. Everything's twisted. Everything is twisted. Do you really think an enlightened being would be like, you bow to me and follow to me? Now, no. A really evolved enlightened being would be like, you do whatever you want to do. That's how you know it's not the real Christ. But very evil beings can come across as light, but disguised as something different. And that's what I think people are following. I think they're following the real Antichrist. But they're saying, oh, don't follow this other guy, because the other guy might be the good guy, you see? That's what's obvious to me. Why are they always making this thing about the devil and Satan? Because they're that. They're that. And they don't want you aware of what's happening. You see, and what happened to me was, I say this a lot, and I say it a lot because there might be new people, you know, there might be new people watching this, and if you're new to this videos, I was a guy that had an unexpected awakening at the age of 24, and I'm 32 now, and over the years I've been going through this unexpected awakening, and it led to all different things. And it started off as an unexpected spiritual awakening, as I'm still going through. And one thing led to another, and I realize now everything's synchronistic, and what we're going through is a shift, a spiritual awakening. And this is what's going on just now. This is almost like an attack from the demonic forces, because remember, they need fear. Without fear they die. That's what demonologists say, and all people talking about demons that know about it, they say that these beings in other dimensions, they die if the energy isn't fearful. They're not wanting to hurt you on purpose. It's just that they can't live without, it's like food to them, right? They might not be bad, it's just that they need food, like us, right? But their food is fear. They probably wish they weren't like that. But that's not the point. The point is, I've got to do these videos regarding this awakening and helping us all get back to love, so that we can have a planet worth living on. And the system is trying to desperately, quickly destroy all freedoms. That, you know, when you have the herd all repeating or following the same thing, you know it's part of the game. You know it's part of the system's game. And you know, we've got to do for the children coming, and their next children, and that's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to do this for. We've got to be willing that if we've got a gun pointing to our heads, that we've got to be willing to take that shot, because there's no death, right? There's no death. And so we've got to be doing this for God, because that's what this is about. They have been trying for a long time through religion to get us away from God. That's what religion's about. It's a force trying to masquerade as different religions, when it's actually the same force doing that. And getting everyone to follow different things, so they actually think they're different religions, but it's the same satanic force you're worshipping. I personally wouldn't be surprised if the holy God was Satan, and if Satan was actually God. I wouldn't be shocked. It's that crazy, the way that it's manipulated, and that's what it is. But the religions is all satanic, of course. It's all Illuminati, and it's all around that. And people, like I say, asleep people, they can't see the game. They can't see that they actually, like one person said to me earlier this evening, they said there must be one good religion. They don't actually see that they're all mirrors of the same thing. They're all mirrors of the same thing. They don't want you going within yourself. They don't want you in presence. Right? They want you to look externally at their God, and to never go within, because that is the power. That is the real power. What is within you? And that's the only truth. But that's what it's all about. That's why they set a world up that is always distracting us, and all these religions. It's because they don't want us going within. They don't want people spiritually awakening. And that's why they're trying to create mass fear and stuff. So to stop, to put people in more fear. Because they know that if enough people awaken, it's game over for them. And it's already game over, because the awakening's already started, and it's God's will that this happens. That's what that spiritual awakening is. It's connecting you to that true God force, which is just love. You know, the true God is just love, and it's a state of awareness. Everything is awareness, and in that spiritual awakening, you're connecting now with that force, and anyone can awaken at any time. It's all within. You start to access your intuition, your feelings, and that's, you awaken when you decide to do that. And but religion, yeah, it's all to divide us. It's all to divide and rule, and to make us think that our God is better than the other God. And that's it, divide and rule. And get the people so crazy that they don't even know what's going on. You're right. Because in that, there's so much fear and anxiety, and this is what this demonic Illuminati force feeds off of. It needs that energy. So how you change this energy is by understanding this and look around you, and you'll see how everything is divide and rule. You'll actually start to see it. It's in so many things. Countries is another example. And when we're actually all the same oneness. And you know, that's what people should do, is just start to meditate upon the oneness and start to be in that state. And then if everyone does that on the planet, then you create a state when the whole planet is in this state of love euphoria. And that kills this demonic force, which needs hate and fear and terror. Once you look terror in the eyes and choose to be love, and with no fear or anything like that, then it can't be there anymore. And that's what's happening with the global awakening. That's why they're terrified. That's why they're trying to rush all this stuff. And I tell you, there was 5G towers are being burnt. I'll tell you now, if this is found out to be true, that 5G has something to do with COVID-19, people will burn cities up. They'll do a lot worse than burn 5G towers. They will burn, I guarantee you, they will burn cities. Not towers, cities. Cities will be burnt if this comes out that it's true that 5G has had something to do with this. You will see riots like you've never seen before. The system is playing a very dangerous game because it's desperate to get to its end goal. Because this demonic force knows it's not going to get its fearful energy if this awakening carries on. That's what this is all about. See, demonic forces are behind the scenes, and the politicians don't know what's going on. Because they're just puppets that this demonic force uses. A lot of it, when you have Hitler and he thought of evil things, that's not him thinking of thoughts, that's these reptiles telling him that. That's why you get pedophiles. That's why you get people wouldn't normally think of touching a child. It's the demonic force that's telling them to do that. And the whole point is to drive the person crazy. Then they know, oh my God, I can't live with myself now, and then some of them will kill themselves. And this happens a lot. People that have become child abusers, they kill themselves because it's a demonic force that's doing it. Demonic forces behind the divide and rule, the religions. Religions are all mirrors of the same evil force that's behind the curtain, like in the Wizard of Oz film. It's the same evil guy behind the curtain controlling all these religions. And like the guy behind the curtain, probably an insecure narcissist doing it. That needs this fearful energy off us because it's a weak force. And that is what's going on. So religions, when you see religion, no religions are good. Religions are to control us. They are to get us to obey. And they are ultimately to divide and rule. And to put us against each other. And to prevent oneness. And equality and love and harmony. And I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching and listening.